What if Cristiano Ronaldo became the president of Portugal? Let's find out! So welcome colleagues, fellas, and mentally unstable people that are seeing this video. I'm Bausch, and today we are going to look at a scenario where the man, the GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo, takes over Portugal and becomes its president. So if you guys enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, always really important, and let's get going. So, just a quick reminder that this scenario is practically impossible because I doubt that Cristiano Ronaldo, being a football player, would wish to be a politician. The man is good, bro's good with his life, so I really doubt that he would want to be Portuguese president. But imagine that he wants and that he manages to win an election in Portugal. What would he do? So, for starters, he would attack Morocco. The first country that Portugal would definitely attack is Morocco. You can ask me, why? Well, I'll tell you. World Cup 2022. Does it remind you of something? Morocco eliminating Portugal. Yeah, I don't think I need to tell more. And although Portugal could win against Morocco without actually needing any allies, Portugal will seek some allies, specifically Spain. You see, Spain is like the top one enemy of Morocco. With Spain joining this war, the Iberian brothers can finally defeat Morocco, and Spain actually has a football justification by this. They might not want for Morocco to host the 2030 World Cup with them. They maybe want to betray them, and that's what's going to happen. Plus, Western Sahara is going to join because I guess it is finally their opportunity to actually do something and retake their territory that is now controlled by Morocco. And so is it. But now for the war, what is going to happen is much simple. You'll have two fronts. The Western Sahara front and the Northern front, or the Gibraltar Strait front. In the Sahara front, Western Sahara will just be completely screwed up. They don't have a capital technically, so there is not much that you can do for that. They technically do not have a capital, as their past capital is in Morocco territory. But as Morocco is just going to take more and more of their lands, Spain and Portugal aren't going to be stopped, look at nowhere, as they are going to actually do something. What will they do? So they will make a little invasion over here of the Strait of Gibraltar, conquering and uniting the territories of Ceuta and Melilla. That causes the main principal political instability between Spain and Morocco. Eventually, they will trigger Marrakesh, as now Portuguese troops make, together with Spanish troops, a blockade over Morocco. Portuguese troops manage to arrive over here near Marrakesh, and they circle the city, eventually capturing it and making the whole Morocco surrender. And in the peace treaty, the Iberian brothers will finally manage to take over Morocco completely, dividing it between Western Morocco and Eastern Morocco, Eastern going to Spain and Western going to Portugal, and reviving Western Sahara. I guess you could say that the Reconquista was finally completed. But if you think that Cristiano Ronaldo will stop by there, he won't. So he then makes an alliance right here with Spain, and he seeks for more. He seeks for more, especially in the UK. So what will he do? In the UK, Ronaldo knows that he can just go to war with UK because that's suicide, and he wouldn't really have a reason to it. But he would have a reason to declare war to the Dutch. Why? Because Erik ten Hag is Dutch. Pretty sure he is. And yeah, these guys have Harry Maguire, so yeah. But he would probably just, instead of declaring war to England, he would be smarter. What would he do? So, for starters, he would try to make revolts in England. He would try to make everyone against England. Since England, went out, got out from the European Union, he could try to make revolts in Manchester to happen. Tired of the Union of the UK, and just trying to separate the UK. So like this, you would have some revolts, but yeah, using this little border of the revolt isn't really good. So let's just use the old good color pixels. So you'd have many revolts. So you'd have an England revolt. You would have a Manchester United revolt against the Manchester City revolt. Why not? I don't think Manchester is here. I'm not quite too sure. You'd have England revolts. You'd have this little revolt right here in the south. No, right here in the north part of England to a more communist regime. Then you would have, of course, the Scottish revolts, especially this revolt right here. And yeah, then you'd have a Northern Ireland revolt. No, maybe put it in yellow. You'd have a Northern Ireland revolt. So now that all of these revolts are ready, what will they do? So the UK is definitely not going to have an easy time right here, as these revolts are just spawning from nowhere, and it is irritating the UK. These revolts right here seek London, that I think it is quite right here. So first, of course, they will try to unite into a big front line, trying to get the maximum possible, while this revolt right here will just try to seek its position in Manchester. This revolt right here on Scotland, together with this revolt right here and this revolt right here, they'll all unite into, again, a really big revolt, trying to get the maximum territory possible. And eventually the borders of the UK will probably look something like this, with now Northern Ireland again trying to take more and more. And in a peace treaty, Ireland will take complete control of Northern Ireland, as there will be 3 different independent countries. Or no, yeah, 4. You'll have England, that will have the past government of the UK. You'll have Scotland, and then you'll have Wales and the Free City of Manchester. The southern part of England, this little peninsula right here, will be conquered by the Portuguese, while you'll have another 2 things happening. First is the public execution of Erik ten Hag, as the Netherlands have to cut complete relations with England, and Erik ten Hag will be publicly executed. The second one will be Ireland joining this alliance, together with Scotland. No, not this color. Together with Scotland, as Wales and the Free City of Manchester will be made puppet states by Portugal. So Wales and the Free City of Manchester are both puppet states of Portugal, Wales being more of a Spanish one, but okay. So now that the alliance has expanded, there is only one last challenger for Portugal. One last opponent. And yes, people, I'm talking about Argentina. Argentina is messy, man. Ronaldo will only be able to complete its mission as Portuguese president as if he takes revenge on Messi. And I hope I don't even need to say why. But of course, Messi will not be stupid, and he will reunite the MSN into try and stop Ronaldo. So of course we'll have Messi, we'll have Neymar, and we'll have Luis Suarez. So the whole American coalition. But don't get desperate too soon, as there will be a call for Wales, Gareth Bale, and there will be a call for France, more specifically of Karim Benzema, making like this an MSN against a BBC. But there is more, because Ronaldo knows that there are certain countries that don't like Brazil, Uruguay, and Argentina. Although there is not much, they can get Venezuela to join this war, promising them territories in Guyana and a recognition of the same. But of course, it will just not stay by there, as they will make Colombia join this war to try to take out Venezuela for once and for all. These guys will just not quit and will pressure England to actually join the war after, having had another war with the Portuguese. And finally, for the last thing that I think it is important to know is, first, French Guiana, the important part of why France is in this war. And secondly, I probably the United States will be supporting Brazil and these guys because colonialism, they are much fans. You could have like Western Sahara joining in, but there are many countries that are not that fan of Argentina, especially with the new president of Argentina. But for now, it will be just these guys. What will happen, you ask me? Let's find out. So we start with Venezuela. And I must assure you, Venezuela is not in good hands. The southern part will be completely taken by Brazil and Colombia in a together invasion, while some troops try to defend the region of Guyana. Right here, these guys are smart, and instead of just making a complete invasion, they will take some territories, important territories, will take control of this lake right here, and eventually they will start making their invasion to Venezuelan capital. Right here, French Guiana will just not be able to keep up with Brazilian troops, as more and more French troops are starting to arrive in the region. But yeah, Brazil will just be able to completely take the region, except this little part where French fortifications are being able to hold up. But hey, it is not just these guys that are having the advantage right here, as the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Moroccans, and the British will all do their part in trying to take Brazil and Argentina by again blockade. The old good blockade. Naval blockade of transactions, of boats, and of everything that these guys have. Will it work? Well, not quite. You see, this is too much to keep holding, and they'll probably just not be able to hold out that much. So they will try to make Argentina dependent and Brazil, especially Brazil, dependent on in trade or on a South American trade, or at least by the Pacific. Then they have to cross out all of these countries. The United States will then start supplying them, but yeah, this little part south of Argentina will be completely taken by the Portuguese. Even if it is too much coal, they will manage to take it. Of course, their main aim is Buenos Aires, but it will take a bit because, again, they might be able to shrink their blockade a bit into Argentinian territory, but Argentinian Navy will just not let that happen so easily. But of course, with time, with French Guiana being a little bit restored, but not totally, as now more and more French troops are starting to arrive, we'll have now Venezuela capital being completely taken by these little guys. Little guys, no, it's Brazil and Colombia. And Venezuela will eventually not surrender but capitulate. But I just don't have time to make the whole Venezuela scene, so they just capitulate. But yeah, the Portuguese will actually be smart and develop a plan that instead of just coming straight forward to Buenos Aires, maybe capturing Uruguay's capital will be more useful, as now they have defense with Brazil, with Argentina. Then they can make a second invasion over into Buenos Aires. Troops will have to come right here into here, which will make these troops that are attacking Argentina go to here. And yeah, it is better for me just to do it. So Portuguese troops will make a successful landing in Uruguay and will manage to take their capital. So Uruguay will be the first to surrender, while some parts of the south of Brazil will start to be conquered. Right here, Argentina will also start to be conquered, but this little Uruguayan territory wouldn't be actually able to hold for that much time, as it is between the two big guys. So what will they do? They will secretly make an invasion of Buenos Aires. When Argentina understands that there is an invasion of Buenos Aires, and that Portuguese troops are heading into Buenos Aires, that is right here, they start moving troops. As they move troops, Portuguese troops manage to take troops from here to defend the Brazilian front line that they were having, which, together with the French, British, Spanish, etc., managed to defend a big part of their territory. Right here, Buenos Aires will eventually be surrounded by these troops, while the Portuguese and British troops are going right here into the invasion of the Falklands, but this is not the main focus. With Buenos Aires surrounded, they start to take more and more territory, while the Buenos Aires people just run to this part of Argentina to try to go into Chile and escape, and Buenos Aires just falls. But of course, Milei won't surrender because it's Milei. But at this point, the takeout of Argentina is practically inevitable. With these troops right here just being completely taken and surrounded by the Portuguese, or by the allies, you could say it like that, but they're the ones who attacked, and many other important Argentinian cities will be taken in order just to get the maximum amount of Argentinian territory that they think that they can get, eventually making Argentina surrender, and just this little tiny piece of Argentina will still be held by the Brazilians. As now, all of these guys can focus totally on Brazil. Eventually, French Guiana will, yes, indeed, fall, and now the invasion is mainly focused in the part of Argentina, as they are now trying to take Rio de Janeiro. But again, it will not be easy. Brazil is the main military power of these guys. Argentina still has some, but Messi wasn't just too powerful to hold up with the goats. But eventually, these guys will just take the southern regions of Brazil, the Pará regions, I guess. Eventually, they will make they will shrink their naval blockade, and together with the French, they will make an invasion to try to retake the French Guiana. And of course, it will be successful, managing to get the majority of French Guiana, as in to try to have a good holding as if they were going to attack Brazil. Of course, they will focus in the coastal regions, taking out the most important coastal regions in the region, eventually managing to take all of these territories of Brazil and restoring totally Guyana. This Guyana actually will just not be in good hands, so now their capital is taken, and all of this just surrenders. Brazil will actually manage to make a little bit of, counteroffensive, but it will not be of much use, as this is just Amazonia. And the French will be smart, will make another landing right here, eventually managing to connect both of these and conquer this little island. Right here, these guys will push into the main Brazilian cities that are really important for their economy, especially in the southeast. Eventually making another naval landing and trying to connect it and conquering major cities like São Paulo, Minas Gerais. Eventually, many of these cities will just fall completely to their control, with them managing to actually do nothing, but they really couldn't do anything as their destiny was actually pretty much told. And as troops are getting near from Rio de Janeiro is actually surrounded by these troops, and eventually in a good offensive it is taken out and the whole Brazilian surrenders, or Brazil. Colombia will just follow the same example as Brazil and it will surrender. And so that's it. Messi has been finally defeated. Ronaldo has proven to be the GOAT. Buenos Aires has fallen, and Ronaldo troops have entered the city with pride, holding their Portuguese flag in hopes that that day would be remembered forever in history, as a day that Ronaldo proved himself superior of Messi, conquering the whole Argentina. And in the peace treaty, you can see that many things have changed. So, starting by the north part, which is the most disinteresting, Brazil has actually annexed some territories of Venezuela, like these territories right here, plus this right here, and this, a little bit, not too much, while Venezuela has annexed this little western part of Guinea and Guyana, making the rest of Guyana a puppet state. French Guyana remains the same, while Colombia actually annexes little tiny bits of territory of the Venezuelans. Right here then, in the south, Bolivia will actually annex parts of Acre of Brazil, while the creation of state of the Paraná as a buffer state between Argentina and the European territories and Brazil itself, as relations will actually be able to cool down with these little puppet states, as they will increase trade and etc. Right here they will make a puppet state of Uruguay, while these little parts of territory will be annexed by the Portuguese. And then Argentina will be divided by 3. Ronaldo won't allow it to exist anymore and will divide it into 3 parts. The French occupation zone, or the Northwest occupation zone, that is controlled by the French. So this one right here. The Spanish occupation zone, right here. And the Portuguese occupation zone. All of these zones were created knowing the rivers of Argentina. So the river of La Plata, a river that is right here. Only this line right here is a straight line, plus this right here is just the only thing that we made up because there wasn't anything here. But yeah guys, this was the video. Hope you liked it, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Hope you liked it, and if you guys want more of this content, comment other video ideas that you guys want to see here. And yeah guys, see you on the next video.